All right, so today we're going to be modeling something similar to this. I might not be able to get all the way through it, but I will definitely get the key points and we will try depending on time constraints. But you can see they have a pretty cool halo that goes around that's kind of angled steeply, right? Uh, and there's also two rows of diamonds, and one is kind of set with the uh, the gallery rails of the inner halo. They have this nice kind of scroll work that comes up right here and kind of makes a Verragio inspired design. So we're going to attempt that. All right, so the first thing we need to do, right, is start with a cathedral ring rail because it was essentially a cathedral ring. So I'm going to pull that out. Now you see whenever I click that cathedral ring rail, it gives me viewport handles. Now I find that the viewport handles are the easiest way for my modeling. You don't necessarily have to use them, but like I said, I just find that they're easiest for me. So I'm going to adjust the thickness down here to 1.8. 1.8, and then we'll do a slight taper up here to like 1.4, 1.5. And I want kind of a large gap right here because I'm going to create that scroll work, right? So let's do something like this. And the good thing about MatrixGold is nothing is ever set in stone unless you break history. So if you model the correct path, right, you never break history. So I need to put my center stone. So we're going to do a round. I'll just select gem on ring rail right here, and it will populate a gem on my ring rail. So just pull it up a bit. I think it's a 6.4. Let's go to 6.0. Put it right there. And once we have it where we want, we can right click to accept. So just to kind of give you guys an insight, this cathedral ring rail, right, was first. I put the stone second, but the command that I used was gem on ring rail. So this gem is always going to be related to my ring rail. So now I can adjust it to, let's say, a finger size 2, and it'll always adjust. So that is the premise of parametric history. Other commands kind of do it by linking spaghetti models with grasshopper definitions and stuff, and it's just super complicated. So we wanted to give customers the free choice of building and allow the parametric history to connect via the build path. So hope that makes sense for you guys. All right, so the next thing I want to do is create those little scroll work. So I'll probably run gem on ring rail, select my inside ring rail. That way it's always connected, right? And then I can reduce it, pull it down a bit. Let's get like a 1.5, maybe a 1.25. And now we can use the angle right here, right, to adjust. So let's go to 90 degrees. All right, and now we can pull it out a bit. Pull it a little bit closer like this. And a little bit further down. All right, so now I have my stone right here. There's no stone in the original, right? But we're going to use it to create that wrap. Okay, so let's go to gem offset curve, which will select my gem right here and present me with a curve, right? So once I have this where I want it, I can right click. So now we need to use this ring rail to blend this curve, right? So let's go to our curve menu and blend curve. And let's use our viewport handles to adjust. So here you see this is blend first curve. So let's flip our first curve to make it go this way. Let's remove some of this and add some right here, and let's open it up a bit. This is your first time. I apologize. I am a bit of a perfectionist. Those of you that have been here previously know the ways of myself, so I apologize. I guess it's a good habit to have when modeling. So that looks pretty good. So I'm going to right click and oops, you see what happened, right? It hid my ring rail and it hid this circle. So what caused that? Like, why is it disappearing? So the way parametric history works, right? Everything is still in the document, just waiting to be called upon. Now we auto hide right here to help the designer, but sometimes like cases like this, you need to bring it back, right? So we can come here and show, and what it'll do is bring that back. Now it got rid of this offset curve that I used, and you see it's grayed out right here, right? So what I can do is edit that and and bring it back like this. But the easiest, excuse me, the easiest way to do it would be to edit our blend curve and just join the curves. That way they are one single curve like that. And now what we need to do is just trim the excess. So right here we have split curve or we have trim, either or would work. So I'm going to do split curve, select my curve, and now this will be our split point. So let's bring it right there and right click. So now you can see the tail is free for me to GV hide and enter. So a GV hide, if I was to just delete it, it would break history, right? It breaks history because parametric history maintains everything in the document to be called upon. But if I hide it from sight with GV hide, it's still in my document. I just can't bring it back unless I use these, right? So that's kind of the difference. Don't ever delete, just GV hide. All right, so next we need to do a profile placer. So under tools, select profile placer. And you can see it presents me with a profile. So I'm going to use the viewport handles to adjust it. So on that origin curve, you see the white ball that follows my cursor around. So this is new to our profile placer. Everywhere I click, it will add a profile for me. Now what's cool with that is I can use that along with this activate auto sweep to see what my sweep will look like, right? So if I want to bring it this way and kind of create some taper into the shank, I can do that also. Go back to this one and we'll do a little taper. Let's bring it in a bit. Then I can come down here, right, and add one. Anytime you want to reselect a profile, you just click the white ball and you are able to adjust. And what's cool with the profile editor is I can select the profile editor icon, which is hard to see, but it's this little pencil, right? And let's say I wanted some sort of design on the scroll. So I can come here and just pull these points. And give it a ribbon-like appearance, right? Let's hit our check. Let's go to this one and do the same. Hit check. So I do need to select this one and pull it out of my ring rail. So let's do that real quick. Need to thicken this one up. Looks pretty good. So I can right click when I'm ready. Now I just need to close the end. So I can, under Tools, select Profile Cap right here. Do something like that. And let's right click again, selecting this one, which will rerun the same command. Right click once more, and then I can take all of these and join them. Right click once you're done. So now if you want to leave this for setting, you can, or you can GV hide it and make it disappear. So let's go front view right here, and we can select our scroll work. Let's go back to perspective so you guys can see. And then we're going to transform submenu and mirror. So what this is going to do is mirror it across my Y axis. But I want it to go X and Y because I want it all 4 quadrants. So I need to turn X, Y, and my multi on, and you can see it quad mirrors it for us to run it like that. So the next thing we need to do is complete the shank. So let me edit this one, adjust it like so, and right click. So now we can profile place our curves. So let's Tools, Profile Place. So you can see it is putting a profile on my origin curve, but I want it to be as tall as this outside curve. So I need to relate it to this outside curve by clicking this box. So in the command line, it says select outside curve. I select that. And we can use the viewport handles. Let's add one at the bottom and activate auto sweep so we can see. Let's do 1.5. Let's come right here and let's make it wider, maybe 2. That way it's got to taper up. We'll do 2.5. So whenever I am ready, I can right click, and now we just need to cap the same way. Let's select our surface and join it. Once I'm done, I right click, and now I take this sweep and we can just do a simple mirror. I want to wait until my stones and everything are done. That way I can mirror just one time, right? So let's turn this back to green. So I select my object and hit the arrow, and it'll apply that green color, right? So now let's do the halos. So I can select my center stone, and I'm going to pull a curve just like I did off of this gem. So I can come here, oops, sorry, gems, and do a gem offset, which will present me with a curve. And once I have that, I can right click and we will run gem on curve from there. We can take the viewport handles and pull it all the way around. And I want to go top because I want these two to be split, and it has to be an even number, right? That way our stones will fit. So let's reduce the stone size a bit. It's pretty close right there. Let's check this side. And that looks pretty good to me. So let's go back to perspective. Now the halo was kind of angled heavily, right? So let's angle it like this. And right click whenever we are done. So I'm going to change those stones to a different color by clicking the arrow. Okay. So now we can put prongs on these stones and gallery rail. So I'll start with the gallery rail. Under settings, I have gallery rail. If I click that, move this out the way, I can use the viewport handles to adjust. Now it's causing this because they are small stones, but we can adjust. So let's change the profile shape. Let's do something like this. Let's reduce some of the thickness. Reduce some of the height. And then let's bring it down to where they kind of touch one another. Maybe a little more. And when I'm done, I can right click. So now we need the prongs. So we have clustered prongs right here. If I select that, it's asking to select your center gem, select cluster gems, which will be these, and I can right click for it to present cluster prongs for me. Now here I have quite a few. I can change the style, right, to be more like the picture. Nope, not those. Aha. So now we can change the top diameter. So here it says shared inside prongs, which these are shared and they're inside. So let's adjust these. I put taper on all of my stones, and you see they hang below, and they need a little bit more edge nudge and gem nudge. So I always change the dome amount to 100% just to give me that nice kind of prong shape. And then we can adjust the length. And that looks pretty good. So once I'm done, I can right click. So I need one more halo, so I can select the center stone and rerun gem offset curve. Let's pull it down into position and open it up. Once you're ready, you can right click. Let's select that curve and rerun gem on curve. Let's bring our position all the way around to the front. And now we can reduce the size, angle them, drop them a bit lower. So I can either try to do it like this as one halo, or let's see if it'll work. Here we go. Kind of gets, so if that doesn't work, you can come here and toggle your count, and we will just do a count of 1, which will just give us 1 stone, right? Let's angle it a bit more. Let's pick it up. And I can right click. So let's go ahead and we can put a setting. So select head builder, and it presents you with this because it's, again, a smaller stone. Let's go down here, and we're going to choose all the way on the end our 3 prong. I don't need any rails because I will do a rail by myself. And let's use the viewport handles to adjust. That head size is extremely too much. Okay, let's do. You can also, in the kebab menu up here, choose a style. Let's see if we have a 3. Sometimes it is figuring it. There we go. What I want to do, switch it over to the 3. Reduce this for sure. Reduce that size. No. Is this it? Let's go to a level 2. Reduce some of that dome height and the thickness. So this will make sense if you set stones, right? You definitely want some sort of metal right there to set the stone into. And that looks good. So let's select the stone and put a gallery rail on this. Let's reduce this. Pick it up into position. There we go. So now I can select everything, go to transform, and we can polar array it. So currently it's polar arraying this way. I need it to go top. So I want to change the plane axes to my Z axis. You can see now it's going around. We just need to increase the object count. So let's zoom in right here. I believe that will work. Looks good. I can right click whenever I am ready. And now we can take this shank, mirror to the other side, right click. We can go back under tools, select both shanks and join them. Right click to accept. And now we just need a head, right? So we can go to settings, put a head. Let's pull that down. Something like this. Reduce the size. I don't need this top rail. I really don't need any of the rails, so let's remove those. Let's angle it in and bend it in. And then we can always go to our level 2 and present it with that set kind of look. Guess if I go that low, then I definitely need a bottom rail, huh? Let's go back to level 1 and you can always adjust it. And once you're happy with it, you can right click and accept. So the last thing I would probably do would be put gems on a curve down this ring rail. So I can do that real quick just to show you. Let's adjust the start position. And once you're ready, right click, select those settings, Prong Placer. Pull them up, right click, and make your channel. Like I said, we can then take the stones, transform, mirror to the opposite side, and right click.